Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, I don't know where it's gonna go. All right, so guys, thank you so much for jumping on. So I don't want to share everything about 80-day obsession because there's still so much that we're learning day to day. But for now, I think the game plan and what all of us need to work on is, you know, getting people ready for it, because this program is not beginner. Even though there's, in the test group, there's a few people that maybe have a lot of weight to lose. They just know that there's a challenge coming, but this is not for beginners. You have to have some kind of knowledge of weights and technique and balance. You have to have some kind of balance because there's a lot of more advanced balance moves. And so now's the time, if I were you, is to start getting your people who have done rounds of 21-day fix, get them to start doing fix extreme, get them into hammer and chisel, get them into programs that require weightlifting, to get them maybe even P90X3 because it has a lot of balance components, to get them in tune with what's going to happen with this program. The beauty of it, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on YouTube, but the beauty of it is that, I mean, we're only 10 days in, but the workouts from week 1 are the same as the workouts for week 2, but she has the ability to film them live each and every time. So it's not scripted like other programs where you memorize, how you memorize what they're going to say. Like I can probably verbatim, like repeat P90X3. Like I know when he's going to say the joke. I know the joke. I know it's not going to be like that. So there's going to be 80 live workouts that are unique, where she talks different things, where they're joking around. So there's a whole new level of allowing Autumn to be a trainer and being able to do what she used to do in the gym, but with us. So it is awesome. And it's awesome. The workouts are hard and they're long. That's the other thing, 45 to an hour. So, that's why it's not a beginner program. As far as the nutrition, it's not as loosey-goosey as the other programs. You have to stick to a time schedule, which is hard. I'm not gonna lie, I don't lie. It's hard. Everything is timed to a T. Everything has an intent. Everything has a purpose. So, so that's a little bit more difficult. Plus, you can't design your meals like load all your vegetables in one meal. It doesn't work that way. They're working with the mechanics of the body, the way the metabolism works, how the ebbs and flows of energy throughout the day. They're using that time nutrition in order to help you recover properly and to help you maximize results. So they tell you in this meal option, you have to have a red, a green, a yellow, a spoon, for instance. Like I'm in plan C for the first time, so I'm eating a lot, but they tell you exactly what containers you have to have. It's not up to you to decide. You decide what you want to put in the container, but they're telling you how to maximize results, and that's really important. Especially, I find that I've never done this before. I went like 20, no, not 20. I would say 15 years of working out on an empty stomach and, killing it because I feel like I have energy in the morning, to then working out in the evenings on kind of an empty stomach and dying most of the times, pushing through, but with little energy, where now this pre-workout meal is designed to help you push hard and you don't run out of energy, which I think is like just like the best shit ever, because these workouts are hard and you need the fuel in order to push through it. I think Christy would agree. They're helping. Yesterday's was really, really hard. Even though we were on the floor half the time, I was dying. And like within an hour after the post-workout meal, I was like dying of hunger. And you're not supposed to eat for like 2 to 3 hours. So I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. I'm so hungry. But everything is timed to a T, and it takes getting used to, and it's going to take a lot of planning and being organized. But, the discipline will take you to the next level. So this program to me is for people that are looking to take it to the next level, who are looking to put in the work, who are willing to sacrifice and just go all in. So I feel like it's amazing. Christy, you want to add anything? I think for now, I think that's the gist of it.
No, I think you covered it amazingly well. But I think let's talk strategic business wise. I think it's important to already start talking about this program. And even if you look at my post yesterday that I posted, Autumn commented on that post, and she's like, yeah, you need a fitness base. And of course, she named all her programs. She's like, do 21-day fix extreme hammer and chisel to get ready. So like, that's the strategy. Who was it? I think Michelle Pirela. Take a look at the way she wrote a post the other day on this. It was actually, Monica shared it into her team page because it really was a great post where she's saying, I'm getting obsessed, but I need to get ready for it. And she's basically doing a call to action for people to join her challenge groups now so that in the new year, they can be ready for 80-day obsession, because you guys think ahead, right? You have to think that you can grow your business in the most important time of the year, which is January to a certain extent. It can be All-Access Challenge Pack. Am I frozen? The All-Access Challenge Pack in December to get ready for 80-day obsession. So start thinking in terms of that. Shift Shop's a great prep program too. Obviously, Autumn's not going to say that, but I think continuing to promote Shift Shop is tying them together. If you have a blog, start blogging about it. I did my first blog on it too, obviously from the perspective of a test grouper, but you can start talking about this program already, because really it's going to be another extreme program. And if you guys think about, when a lot of you have been, are kind of new, but like Anna, us have been in the time that businesses started when we were doing extreme programs, right? These long, an hour, 45-minute long workouts. And if you look at the results that were coming at the long-lasting results that were coming out at the beginning of Team Beachbody, it was P90X, Insanity, the hard programs. So to me, this is like, let's get back to that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to our roots of really pushing fitness and not kind of cutting it with 22-minute workouts, which is great. I don't, whatever, that's awesome. But let's get back to those extreme workouts so that our mindsets get more extreme, right? So that we get back, so that we get back to that like hardcore mentality of balls to the wall fitness, balls to the wall on our business. I think that's the way I'm seeing this program. I love it so far. I've personally lost like 6 or 7 pounds already. You guys know I can't drink.
In your face.
I can't do all that, but it's huh?
You can see it in your face.
Did you say something? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and so I'm doing it with Danny. It's hard. It's not hard for me to cook my food, but it's hard to prep Plan F food in addition to Plan B food. It's that combination of meal plan is really difficult, because when I eat certain things is not when he eats certain things. And so I'm basically working 24 hours a day. Not, obviously I sleep my 8 hours, but I wake up and it's food business. That's all I do all day long. So getting your customers mentally prepared for this is going to be as important as selling a challenge pack to them, because they take that commitment. But now it's already a well-oiled machine. I think I've got it down, and I'm just rolling with it. But I think this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people's bodies and for their business. So embrace it, follow along, use the energy that's coming from the group and inject it into your business, just like we do with any launch, right? We did it with Shift Shop, and we're going to do it with 80-Day Obsession. Of course, in November, we have Double Time, which is going to be a cool launch as well. So that's it. I love it so far. It's amazing.
And I will start working on the launch pack, which I did that with Hammer and Chisel to help you guys get ready. I'll probably maybe even spend time coming up with a hybrid schedule. I think X3 needs to be in there. A hybrid would probably work for the balance components. But we need to definitely get people ready and start inviting people into these groups, yes, to get strategically plans for this. Okay, so guys, I need you to lower your voice, please. Sorry, I didn't mean to bust your eardrums, but they're screaming. Okay, so I've been reworking back with, that's probably not the proper way of saying it, but we're working with my life coach Jessie again, and you know, I came back from Summit and kind of fearful that Elite is slipping through my hands this year. And it's been like an up and down. Some days I want to do it, some days I don't want to do it. So I figured, and it's true what she said, if I'm dealing with this, you probably are too. So I'm gonna put my vulnerability and truth pants on, and you know, she challenged me to do this call, and I, like I said before, some of you got on, guys. Like I said earlier, my life coach Jessie, she challenged me to do this video, but I didn't find it appropriate to share with new coaches because I don't want to scare them, first of all, and this is more of a diamond, you know, call. So the title of the call is Are You a Liar? And I went on the call last week, 1 week ago, and I was really anxious last week. I felt overwhelmed. I didn't want to do it. Larry, please. Jesus, between him and the dog and the kids, they need to go back to school. Okay. She made me see that instead of entertaining the truths about myself, I entertain the lies constantly. And I'm sure a lot of you do it too. And those lies is what we've done is create like this muscle where when things get tough or we don't like what's going on, or like me, change, I don't like change, I resist change, I fall back into these disempowered stages. It's like my emotional home where I get overwhelmed and then I withdraw and then I don't want to talk to anybody. And those are the patterns that I recognize now. But when I get in that disempowered state, the lies start to surface. Like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this anymore. And I'm sure a lot of you are feeling this too. It's normal. The thing is that, like any muscle, just like a fitness muscle, if you keep exercising that disempowered state, it becomes stronger than your truths. So what we need to do now, including myself, is to work on disassembling that muscle and building a muscle of truth and courage. So I want you to think about, where have you been entertaining lies right now in your life, in your business? Things that you keep telling yourself day to day that are stopping you from moving forward. Like, I'm falling behind, I can't keep up, I'm not good enough, this is not for me, maybe I don't have it anymore, I'm not enough. Those are the lies that we keep telling ourselves that are holding us back from moving on to the next level. So, but you need to know, you need to be aware. That's the key. Awareness is key. And I may not have figured it all out yet, but at least I'm aware. And that is a huge, huge accomplishment. I'll pat myself on the back for at least being aware of what's going on. So like I said, change for me has like always been the worst. That for anything, even last week when I started this meal plan, that I went up to plan C, and the timing changed and I had to wake up earlier and everything was not how I'm used to it. I started to freak out. I got anxiety. I didn't want to do it. I don't want to change. But why do I have to do it like this? And the same goes for the business. Things that I have done through 7 years have now stopped working, and now I'm fighting myself on making changes because I don't want to make changes, because I'm comfortable where I have been all this time in the things that I was doing. And I know that this is something across the board that happens to everybody. So I want you to realize that I'm in the same place. I'm not trying to make excuses for myself or anything like that, but I want you to see that your awareness has to happen now, and then taking steps to fix it. And this is a great question that Jesse gave me that it's just awesome. Like, what if the road of the road of certainty goes through uncertainty? So in order to have certain, that's what I crave in my life, is knowing that things are going to happen. Like, I don't like spontaneous. I don't like surprises. That shit freaks me out. If the road to certainty leads through uncertainty, you have to go through changes. You have to go through the rough patches. You have to make adjustments in order to have certainty in your life. Sorry if I'm like looking everywhere, but my computer, the thing is at the bottom, and it's just really weird. I don't like it. I need my computer like up here, I think. Okay, so sorry. And even this Sunday, I went to church, and I hadn't been in like a year and a half, but I went, and the message was on point. We need to start doubting our doubts and believing our beliefs. Stop doubting, start doubting your doubts. This is the thing. We focus on and we believe everything that we doubt about ourselves. All the lies, we believe them. We believe them and we hold on to them. But then the truths about ourselves, the positive things, the wonderful things, those are the ones that we push to the side and we refuse to focus on. And it takes a lot of effort and steps and conscious work and intentionality every day to get back into believing in yourself, believing in your truths, focusing on your courage. And that's what I want to talk about, because not this last call, but the week before, I figured out what I want the values of our team to be, because this is what's important to me. Sorry, I swear I'm not gonna cry. It's truth, because I always tell the truth. And that's very important to me, to have integrity, courage, and heart. If we lead our businesses with those three things, we can do anything. Having truth is not only about telling the truth and not lying, but it's also about valuing yourself and knowing your worth and knowing what you bring to the table each and every day. So what are your truths? You need to figure that out and write them down and then affirm them each and every day. Number 2, the courage. This is something that I had some notes here. She told me to write down, and my notes they're like all over the place, but you have to commit to mastery in being courageous. Commit to mastery. That means that when fear shows up, you take the steps to annihilate it. The doubt, to me, doubt and fear, they're the same. They're one and the same. They may be dressed up differently, but they are the same. You need to build the muscle of courage. And that means 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just freaking do it. The 5-second rule. That's how you get over the fear. And the fear can run your life if you let it, but you have to focus on doing the steps. And I'm going to go back into a couple of things, some steps that she gave me for us to build the new muscle. But when you're in fear or you're in doubt, that's your time to stop, to analyze what's going on, to become aware of the situation, and then take the steps to do it. It could be jumping up and down and put a song that you like, and like Tony Robbins says, change your state. Change your state. Breathing exercises, that's major. You can meditate, take a walk for a second and let it go. The thing is that we continue to hold on to these feelings and we're not releasing them, and it it's compounding over time, and it's basically running the show. It's time to end that shit. It's time to stop. And only a conscious adult can make that decision. You have to let it go. So here's some of the things that we went through this conversation about uncertainty and why I feel uncertain and why things I don't feel like they're falling into place. So she had me look back 7 years at what I did when I started. And she asked me, and I'm going to ask you, when you started as a coach, did you feel certain that you were going to succeed? Were you 100% certain that this was going to work for you? I kind of did. I knew that I loved it, and I'm a go-getter, and I was going to do it. So she asked me to list out, just say the things that I did every day as a new coach that catapulted my business early on at the beginning stages, where I did not let doubt or fear run my life at that point. So the first thing I did was I was intentional. I didn't have a lot of time back then. Now I have more free time. Now I'm eating shit. Okay, I accept it. I own it. It's my fault. But back then, I would wake up with intention every day because I needed to make this happen. I used every spare moment to make this business happen. Now, why aren't we doing that right now? And I asked myself that question too. You have the time, but you're not using it effectively. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to wake up and you're going to set your intention for the day before you even put your feet on the floor, before you go pee, before you go brush your teeth. What is your intention for the day? Are you going to change lives today? Are you going to be a positive force? Are you going to elevate yourself? Are you going to run the show? Are you going to make today the best day? Set your intention as soon as you wake up. And I did that as a new coach. I would wake up, I would go work out, I would do a little bit of work. I had no time, but I fit it in because I wanted to. There were no excuses. I made it happen. The second thing I did is personal development. I know we talk about this ad nauseum, but when doubt shows up, here's a little trick. Put on your favorite video. Get out of that disempowered state before it ruins your day and it runs your life and it just continues to drag on. Listen to personal development. I made time for that in the car every day while I was going to work. Sometimes I would even read when my boss wasn't there. I would read in the office as soon as I got there. But you have to make time for it. And for me, it's not only about listening to personal development, but you have to implement. And I'm not saying you have to change your whole life or change everything, but you have to pick out a couple things that you're hearing and implement. Just like I suggested after Summit, those few things, 3 or 4 things that you are going to implement. You have to implement these things you're learning in personal development to strengthen your mindset. Number 3, I decided back then to be patient. And I was patient, which I'm not now, but I was patient. And that's something that a lot of us want success right now. It doesn't happen. We get discouraged and then fall back into old patterns. You have to be patient. If you're not doing the work, you can't expect it to happen. If you're doing the work, don't expect it to happen tomorrow. It just doesn't work that way. With this business, usually the stuff you're doing now, if you're doing a lot now, it's going to show up 3 months from now. And the opposite is true. If you're not doing anything now, you can expect it to affect your business 3 months from now. So if you're looking to end the year strong, or you're looking to start 2018 strong, what you do now is going to affect your results down the road. But you have to be patient and you have to be forward thinking. You have to stay consistent. And I'll never forget when Christy and I were a new coach, that Keith Colombo said, it's not inviting 20 people on Saturday. It's inviting 5 people or for whatever, do the math, 4 people for 5 days straight. You know, you can't expect to build consistency or the compound effect if you're doing the work 1 day a week. It's like working out 1 day a week for 12 hours and expecting to be ripped. It doesn't work that way. It's the same exact thing. You have to show up every day with intention. Oh, here's the line she gave me. Also, with the patience thing, obviously things are not going to go your way, and that's when frustration sets in. Give thanks for the lesson and then move on. Every challenge is your opportunity for change. Every challenge is your opportunity to learn and grow. It's your perception. So change your mindset on that. People are going to cancel. People are going to return things. People are going to cancel. Learn from it, tweak what you're doing, and move on. If we continue to look back at what happened in the past and hone in on it and dwell on it, you're going to stay in the past and things will never change. And believe me, guys, I'm speaking to the choir, okay? I'm preaching to myself here. Getting it out and saying it is a way of solidifying it for myself. And this is the line she said, because since I hate change, she wants me to say, I love change and change loves me. I love change and change loves me. And that's part of being patient. You make the adjustments and you give it time to flourish. Number 4 was when she asked me, did things go your way all the time? And I said no, like at the beginning, very, very beginning. And I've had moments that I've wanted to quit, of course, like everybody. But at the very, very beginning, I had made one sale because Christy actually helped me make that sale. And then nothing happened. Even though I was working, nothing happened for like 3 weeks. And I was like, maybe this is much harder than I thought. And somebody at my job, her name is Maria, she said, Becky, you were made to do this. Don't quit. So number 4 is I don't quit when things get hard. In the past, I figured it out, and I'll just find a way now. Okay, you guys have gotten to diamond in the past. You've gotten to star diamond. You can do it again, but stop tripping yourself up. Like, why not now? What's the difference now than it was before? The steps are still the same. The trainings are the same. Now there's more crap out there. That's why I'm not going to do a training call, because you could just go to YouTube and find a freaking training on this, that, and the other thing. Every coach does the same exact thing, for God's sakes. It's up to you to do the freaking work. And stop telling yourself that it's too hard. So when things get tough, that's when the transformation begins. And here's what you have to tell yourself. And I said this at Summit. There is no plan B. There is no plan B. If this is what you want to do, why aren't you doing what it takes to make it happen? And that's something you have to ask for yourself. And that all leads to your doubt and your fears that you're letting run the show. You have to build the muscle of courage and find your truths. And then that's what you have to build, the muscle that you build every day through meditation, through, you know, if you're religious or you want to have conversations with God, you do that. You know, you breathe, you do your affirmations, you have incantations, but those are the things that build the muscle of truth, that build the foundation of confidence. And that's up to you to do it. I can't tell you what your truth is. I know what my truth is. I just sometimes let the lies take over. And I know you guys do it too. If it's happening to me, it's definitely happening to you. And number 5, which actually I noticed that I must have not written it down, but I made it up, is what kept me moving forward and needs to have clarity for myself right now is the power of the why and the vision. Because dropping my kids off at school and all of that I'm not going to cry about because it's been like 5 years already. That's what woke me up in the morning. That's what made me get out of bed at 4:45 in the morning. That's what kept me sacrificing and doing the things, the hard things that needed to be done. So, you know, you need to write down your why, have it posted. Maybe when you're doing your incantations or your affirmations, repeat your why to yourself every single day. Say it out loud. Look at yourself in the mirror with conviction. Stand up straight like a rock star. Put on a power pose and repeat your why. Repeat your vision every day and share it with people. That's what's going to get you out of bed. That's what's going to get you to push, to kick fear in the face and to continue your journey moving on. And one thing I want to say, this goes obviously for me too, is if people are not on board with what you're doing, just let them go. Let them go. Like Jessie gave me an example 2 weeks ago. It was a biblical example, but when Jesus Christ was going to be put on the cross, there were people that were still throwing stones at him, and he still wanted to reach out to them and convince them that he was the savior, and still they didn't believe. The point is, you can't convert everybody. Everybody is not going to jump on board. People are not going to believe your vision. They're not going to believe in the why. They're not going to believe in Team Beachbody. But if you've given the information and they still don't believe, it's not your problem to keep trying to convince them. Let them go. Let them do what makes them happy. But don't let them steal your happy. That goes for me too. I'm telling you, this is like me preaching to myself. Okay. So those were the 5 steps. And I gave you some of the things to help you get back in flow, which to me is the breathing exercises, setting your intention in the morning first thing, doing your PD, meditating. And let me stop with the meditation for a second, because everybody has their own misconceptions and ideas of what meditation is or what it isn't. It's not a time to be like, you know, like, oh, that no thoughts come in. That maybe the Buddhists that are like this higher level energy beings, maybe they can shut everything off. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Thoughts are gonna come in. The key is to be aware of the thought and say, not right now. And you go back to your meditation. Because I thought, I can't do that. There's no way my mind is ever going to shut off. It's not about shutting it off. It's about becoming in tune with your breathing, with what you want out of life, and listening. I like the guided ones because I'm not at that level where I could just do it with nobody telling me what to do. But it's really just tuning into what you want. And really, the breathing for me is what calms me down. It removes anxiety, and it helps me just connect to nature, connect to my heart. So, you know, try it. It doesn't hurt. Give 5 minutes. You could do the Insight Timer app, and it could be part of your process for getting in flow every single day and connecting to your heart. And I love this acronym that Jessie has for fear. And you can write this down. It's fierce execution of adventure and relentless living. You know, my advice to you is just make fear your bitch. You can't continue to let it hold you back from whatever version of success that you're seeking in your life. You know, where's the heart in your business right now? A couple weeks ago, I did go live in the Queen Bee, and I stumbled through this whole truth, courage, heart thing. But here's what I verbalized to Christy the following day, which makes a lot of sense now. I don't have training techniques. I can't tell you how to do this. But I think over the years, we've been focused on the shiny things and pushing for recognition, posting, pushing for money, pushing for this, pushing for that, and the heart got lost. And if we could just reconnect to the heart in the business about leading like a servant and helping other people get what they want and showing people your truth and your vulnerability and who you really are, I think you'll find the right people. And not only that, but the people that you do have that are worth your energy are going to buy into what you want and your vision and your heart. And you're going to align yourself with people that are looking to take it to the next level. We're trying to force a shoe that doesn't fit because we're worried about rank and we're worried about this. And yes, I worry about that, because it's my livelihood. So of course I'm worried about that. But the connection, the heart, the truth, the courage has been lost. And I think the more that we build people up where they buy into who we are, like at the beginning, it's like Anna and I wasn't say the old timers, the veterans, you guys knew us. So you bought into this vision because you knew us and you trusted us, and it was like a thing, and it was the culture and the heart and the belief, and it was fun. That's what we need to recreate. We need to recreate that and start. I lost I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I think that's it. You guys have something to say? I think that's it. We need to lead with our heart. We need to lead with our heart. The more that we build people up and inspire them and lead with passion and speak with passion and truth and vulnerability, the right people will come. And yes, there will be the wrong people that come along too. That's just the way it is. But you love them where they're at. You let them do what makes them happy. And you give the other ones, the ones that are doing the work, you give them your heart and soul. The other ones just get a little bit. The other ones get all of you. I mean, that's what I did back in the beginning. That's what I did, and it worked. So it works. It's just a matter of recommitting to the process and recommitting to finding out who you are, what you bring to the table, and how you can inspire people to want to join you and have a clear vision of the type of, I'm going to say woman, I'm trying so hard not to be like just women, but the type of women that you want to work with, and have a vision of what your team looks like and what your values are. Come up with it. Truth, courage, heart. Those are mine. Yeah.
Becky, thank you for this. And one thing I have been learning lately is before you lead others, you have to take a look within yourself. And one question I ask myself is, the people that you want to attract, remember that you attract who you are. So the question to me is every day, Yari, do you want to attract someone like you? And that to me, it's like the key question. Do I want to attract people like me? If I'm doubting about my question, then I don't. I have to work more on myself. And what I am doing lately is really reading more about leadership, because I want to lead by example. I want to be the leader that I want to attract. I want to attract other leaders like me. So I've been reading this book, and I just started developing the leader within you. And what you just mentioned, Becky, I actually read it this morning. It says at level 2, leader, the first one is the position, right? The first one is the position, but at level 2 is the follower loves the leader. At level 3, the follower admires the leader. And at level 4, the follower is loyal to the leader.
That's what we need. Loyalty.
So that's what we are looking to have, because if you don't have a loyal team, you have nothing. You know, I don't want followers. I don't want just people to follow what I do. I want leaders to step up and just be loyal.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
definitely
The only way to build loyalty is to connect to someone's heart.
To someone's heart. And just ask yourself that question. Do you want to attract someone like yourself?
Yeah. Thank you, Yadi. Thank you. And one thing you guys can do in order to, you know, really, and I'm going to start doing this. I've been saying it out loud. I don't know why I resist like buying a book and like writing it down, but I do give gratitude every single morning. That's something, a muscle that I've built. Even at the end of the day, before I go to sleep, I just couple things. But my coach said, why buy another book and and it could be your brag book. And at the end of the day, you can brag about things that you've done. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, I sold 10 challenge packs today. No, it's like I showed patience towards my son today. You know, anything that you can brag about. And I actually want you to brag about everything. Every little thing matters, because that's what builds up your confidence. And that's how you will build upon that muscle, and you'll bring it into your life. So you can have a gratitude journal. You can have a brag book. I would definitely have a goals book too, where you can write your goals every single month or however you want to do it. But we have to start bringing courage to the table. Doubt and fear will run your life. And it's really just that little crazy voice that you have in your head that is trying to derail you. Some people call it the enemy. They're just trying to derail you from what the greater purpose is. And I realized that on Sunday, when I went to church, like it's always like the message is right on point with what I need to hear. I woke up and I just knew that I had to go. And what it showed me is that your talents will get you so far. And I don't like to be all like, oh, because honestly, I don't go to church every week, but I do believe that there is a greater purpose for me, that my destiny, I was put here to do certain things, but my talents are only going to get me so far. And if I don't connect with that greater purpose and that higher power, I'm not going to get to the next level. So, and I'm off the soapbox. Anybody else? I hope this makes sense. I mean, I actually did an outline. I didn't want to be like just going through my book, but I think that we have to come up with a system to really, how do we mentor from our heart? How do we get people to attach themselves to our team, our vision, our culture better? And just continue to work on yourself. For me, it's always, all my life, I've been this feeling that I have to prove, and it's not healthy. Sorry, I don't want to cry. I never give myself enough credit, because it's never enough.
We're so hard on ourselves. We are. I don't know if you saw what I share in the chat right now, Becky. When I went to church this past weekend, you know, the message that stood out it said, you are where you are today because of the voices you listen and the people you follow. Yep. So that's something that we have to look who we surround ourselves with, and the voices. You need people to empower you all the time. You need people that tells you, you know what, you don't believe in this, but I think you're great for this. You need people like that. We need to give ourselves credit. I don't give myself credit at all, and that's something that I am working on. I'm working on, because it's never enough. It's never enough. So thank you, Becky. I needed this. Thank you.
I'm happy that it helps, because I was nervous. And she wants the recording, so I'm gonna have to send her the link to this.
Thank you.
But I'm glad I did it. Do you guys have any questions, or do you want to add anything? No?
Well, I'll just say I'll try to keep it short if I can. Like everything that you have said, it's like that's me. That's me. And it's funny how I'm gonna start crying now. How in the beginning, because it's hard as an old timer
Yeah.
to be where I am right now to where I was in the beginning and even in the middle when I achieved what my success at one point was to be able to do this full time and to be where I am in my business right now. It sucks. It's hard. I mean, I literally just got a text from a coach. I reminded her, I didn't even see the emails about her business service fee and that her account is going to be canceled. And she's one of my oldest coaches from when I first signed up, but she's never really done anything. And I've always kept her there, and I've always kind of like, oh, because she's going to be there, she's going to be fine. And just lately, like you said, just letting people go and loving them where they are in their journey. And you know what? It's not for her anymore. And I just have to let her go because I know that she is only filling up that space of where I need to focus on other people that really need this. And that is where I'm at right now, where I'm just trying to find people, which has been the hardest. It's been really, really hard. And you would think, oh, Anna, you've been a coach for 6 years, but I'm not the same person that I was when I first started. I'm totally, totally not. And yes, all that stuff that gets into my head, like the doubt creeps in me every single day, the anxiety that I get every single day, which is something that I never realized that I had until I became aware of it. But I kind of almost feel in a way that I'm a brand new coach right now. I'm starting from scratch and I'm trying to figure out who I really am and who I really want to attract. And it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of patience, but I'm in this for the long haul. Like quitting for me, even there's days that I feel like, oh my God, like I feel like I can't do this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what are you talking about, Anna? What are you saying? Like quitting for me, there is no plan B. This is my only plan. And that's it.
I was going to say at this point, like Christy says it all the time, we have to just continuously be building new teams. And that's a hard thing it's a hard pill for me to swallow. Maybe it's because I got comfortable. Maybe it's because change freaks me out. But this is not long-term. Some people are not going to buy into this long-term. They're not. And we've got to let that go. I was going to say something else. And this is something that Jesse told me. And it was like, oof, punch in the gut. The anxiety and the fear and the doubt and all of that all stems from being very selfish and self-centered because you're only worrying about yourself. And she told that to me. It's okay, I'm not saying it to you, but I'm saying it to me. It stems from being very selfish and self-centered because you're only worrying about yourself. And that's opposite of leading from your heart. Because when I come to these coaching calls with her and I'm like my peak anxiety, it's because all I'm doing is worrying about myself. And that's another tough pill to swallow when somebody tells you that. It's the honest truth. If you're worrying about helping other people succeed, that should be priority number one. And in this business, that's what has to be priority number one, because we're not only helping people lose weight, but we're helping people try to create businesses and wealth for themselves. And we can't do that if we're only focused on the outcome for ourselves. And I think, now I'm 100% certain that that's what has gotten me off path the last couple of years. At the beginning, I knew that it was about we're helping with people, and I got distracted with the shiny things. I got distracted. So I'm owning it. I'm claiming it. I know it. It's just getting back in tune with the truth. All right. I think that's it. Thank you guys for jumping on. I hope that this was beneficial. I mean, if I could give you a homework assignment, it's to sit down maybe now or Kelly when you get home and write down your truth. Write down the things that you know that you love about yourself. What are your positive qualities? And I've had you guys do this before, but do it again. While I'm working out, I do it. I say them. Yesterday, I was praying big time because I wanted to cry. I wanted to kill Autumn. I wanted to laugh, and I was cursing, and I was like, one, power, like seriously, because I was trying to keep count at the same time, trying not to focus on the count, on the same time, trying not to focus on how much it freaking hurt. So I was like, I came up with a new system. I would say the number of the rep followed by a word of affirmation afterwards. And I would close my eyes and just like, God, get me through this. Yeah, you got to do whatever it takes to make it happen. But write that down. Do that exercise. And then maybe rewrite it every single day. Maybe you'll come up with new things. And that will help you not only focus on your truth, it'll help you find the courage to find people who connect to you. And with that, I'm done. I will work on a launch plan for 80-day obsession, so we can start getting that out there now. Now is the pivotal time to start creating leads for this program and to get people back in tune with lifting weights and longer programs and getting themselves, you know, strong, mentally strong, physically strong, and working on endurance for this program. So that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Becky.
Have a great day. I will upload this video and I'll share the recording. Bye.
Have a good day, ladies.
Stop.